Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video, and we have a very fun video today. We are not only going to recap the Pro Tour and how it all shaped out, as you can see in front of you, but we are also going to talk about the winningest deck at the Pro Tour Singapore, technically. A little fun clickbaity thumbnail, but it's also true in terms of peer events, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully enjoy your stay. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out the Discord down below, as well as the creator worksheet for access to a lot of other creators who cover this game. Go follow them, support them, and we'll get right into it. So, first off, I've highlighted this a couple times, but whenever LSS has a big event, they always do a live blog, especially like really big events like Pro Tours and Worlds and stuff, and they go through it. So, like, if you, for some reason, could not catch the games this weekend and you want to know everything, I am normally not a blog person. Like, I don't like reading things, and like I just rather watch a video, right, or a recap or something like this. But I read this. This stuff is insane. Like, look how in depth this is. They go through all of. They have the artist interviews. They have, obviously recap of how the event went. They have like the cosplay competition, like literally everything, every facet of the event. They have like meet the top 8 with their favorite cards and a little bit about them with their deck list, everything. So definitely go check this out. I'll link it down below. It is well worth it, especially if you missed a lot of the event. So this was the top 8 of the Pro Tour. Like we went over the other day, 4 gravy bones, 2 slip through the cracks, a Syndra, and a Verdance. The way the mirrors worked out, because there was mirrors in 3 out of 4, we were guaranteed to have a Slippy or Gravy in the final no matter what, because of the way the top side of the bracket worked out. And as you can see, went all the way to a Gravy v Gravy final. Of note, that Michael Hamilton versus Inky game in round 1, definitely go check that out. That was insane. It just shows you how much the Gravy matchup, like, life totals obviously matter, but they also don't matter in a way, because all the Gravy mirrors like had it where one Gravy player like got out to a huge lead, like by like 10, 15 life, almost 20, and then the other Gravy brought it back, and it's all about tempo and stuff like that. So really, really cool games there. Edison had one of the wackiest games against Syndra ever. I think both players were probably a little nervous just based off the play lines they were making and some of the missed triggers and stuff. But you're playing for $50,000. You know what I mean? Some of us get nervous at an armory when we're playing for a gym pack. It's just how it works. So Edison ended up making the top 4, going against Inky. That was kind of a blowout. Inky just kind of ran away with it. Gravy's very good into Verdance, so that was expected. And then we ended up having that Gravy finals, which ended up being a very good game. So congrats to Shiru. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Mr. Wu, congrats. Really awesome top 8. Despite a lot of the mirrors, it was still a very fun top 8 to watch. I enjoyed it. I stayed up. I worked night shift, so it was really easy for me to watch it. But Gravy Bones ends up winning the Pro Tour shortly after release. So Gravy off to a hot start in terms of performance. But we're going to talk about how other events went down. And as you can see here, you can go to different events. So we had the calling. The calling top 8 ended up being, if we look at the final standings here, and I'm doing this all in here, they only did top 4. That's weird. Let's go to this. This is probably better. For some reason, they're only listing the top 4. I don't know why. This is the top 8. We had an Ira, Shoma Yamamura on Ira. We'll talk about the list here in a second. We had an Acilio, a Jarl, a Slippy, a Gravy, another Slippy, a Fang, and a Florian. So a lot of people, and I'm not going to dwell on this too much because I don't think it needs to be dwelled on too much, but I did see a lot of people in the chat of the Pro Tour talking about like Gravy needs a ban and all sorts of stuff. And I understand it. Board state heroes can be very frustrating to play against. It makes sense. And it's not to say that LSS won't make a slight, like, very small kind of bullseye bracers like ban potentially to Gravy, but I highly doubt it. I at least hope they don't. In the World Tour Singapore, we had technically, despite all the mirrors, we had 4 different decks, which is pretty good. It's not like insanely healthy, but it's pretty good. It's not bad. And in the calling, which honestly is more indicative of a CC format because there is no draft rounds, we had 7 different heroes to include a Jarl, a Cilio, an Ira, and Fang, like these different heroes. So the only double hero we had was 2 Slippies. I don't think any one win rate was too egregious by one hero. Gravy had a pretty good conversion, but not insane in the Pro Tour. And as you can see here, only 1 Gravy in top 8 of the calling. So I hope they don't make a change. I don't think they need to. I think we just came off the back of one of the healthiest national formats we've ever had, if not the healthiest statistically. And now we're having a Pro Tour with 7 different heroes in the top 8 of the calling. So I hope they don't make a change. Regardless, Shoma Yamamura ended up taking it in the top 8. We had Michael Fang take it, Peter Budinzik, and the Jarl actually ended up beating Acilio. And then we had top 4, and the final ended up being Shoma Yamamura against Michael Fang's Gravy, so Ira versus Gravy, and Shoma ended up taking it, and this is Shoma's list. So, again, this is the exact same list that he ran in the Pro Tour, and he ended up taking the whole event. So Ira won the calling, which is awesome to see. Very standard list with a couple exceptions. The core of the list is like this 1 power blue old school list. A lot of the original Ira lists that came out were running the 1 power combos in order to make the most of looking for a scrap, and then also use flick flack with all these combo blues to get a lot of value both offensively and defensively. The difference in Shoma's list, or I guess not difference, but additions, is he is running Whirly Mist Blossom. Even though he's not running Iris, he's not running Okana, and he's not even running attack reactions. In any sense, he is literally just saying Whirly Mist Blossom by itself is good enough. I do agree with dual threat. It can be pretty impactful, so it doesn't surprise me too much there. He also is, let's see, there was one other like key thing. He's running even bigger than that, which I found really interesting. He does have Enlightened Strike to make the most of even bigger than that's Go Again. But other than that, like he doesn't have like a Snatch or, something like Soul Bead Strikes or something that like gets the block value but also can get the Go Again, auto Go Again. He's just running like good stuff Ira, but he just snuck in these even bigger than that. So really interesting. Probably just wants to be a little bit more aggressive maybe with some of these 2 cost, which could make sense. Hit them for 7 Go Again on Chain Link 2. But regardless, congrats to Shoma. Ended up taking it and winning the calling. Then we had the Battle Hardened, which I will go over here to kind of show you. Let me clean this up really fast. The Battle Hardened was a Living Legend Battle Hardened, which I think is a decent one to look at because we have Living Legend format at Worlds, and it was pretty healthy. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we had any. We had 1 duplicate in Briar, so we had 7 heroes in the Battle Hardened, the top 8 for Living Legend, and Naib on Ira ended up taking it. Naib was on a Needles list, Zephyr Needle, which got banned in CC because of the Ira deck coming out, on top of like Zen's performance with the card. And this is why. Like this list is nothing fancy. It's nothing crazy. It's literally just abusing the crap out of Zephyr Needle. We have cards, Belittle, obviously a good card. But when it comes to the Needles, we have cards like Pick Up the Point. He is running Pick Up the Point at a 6 of in red and blues, and then he is running a 9 of Up Sticks and Run, which is pretty nutty, running Dual Threat, and then as you can see here, running Minnowism with the Belittle package, running cards like Knives Out, Conceal Blade to make the most of those. The only card that he's not running in here, which I'd love to hear at some point if he ever does a deck tech, is Throw Dagger. I thought Throw Dagger would be really good in this list, being able to just get rid of one of those Needles because you know you're going to get it back, and drawing a card, but I'm sure he had his reasons, or maybe he just threw us together because it's Living Legend. He wanted to have some fun with Needles Ira, and he just didn't have it in the list, which is completely understandable. Other than that, like just good stuff Ira, except we're abusing Needles. He is running Blood Spatter Vest, which I enjoyed. I think that makes sense with a lot of the flicking that he's going to be doing with Flick Knives, just like on-demand resource. Really, really good, but it does not surprise me that Ira did well. Ira Needles is insane. He ended up beating, I think, 2 Briars to do it. But we had a pretty diverse top 8 for the Battle Hardened. So that's how that went. But yeah, definitely check out this whole entire article. It's so good. Highly implore you to do that. But yeah, when it comes to bans or restrictions, I hope they don't make any changes personally. I don't think they need to. I mean, if you... it's on here. I just don't know exactly where. But yeah, if you look at the conversion rate, like Gravy did have a very good conversion rate. But I think that it was mostly... I'll oversimplify it here, but Gravy and Slippy kind of help each other. Gravy in this tournament, if you go to fabblazing.com, I'll even pull it up here really fast because this is, my channel and we do this on the fly all the time. If you go to Fab Blazing, you search up the Pro Tour Singapore, and then you look at matchups, right? If you look at Gravy, like we talked about the other day, Gravy had a 53% overall win rate, which is not egregious. He had a 35% win rate in a DO, 7-13 against the hero. He had a 31% win rate against Syndra, 11-24. He also didn't do insanely well into Acilio, even though it was only a few matches. He did very bad into Dorinthia. He has bad matchups. The issue is Arachne Slip Through the Cracks keeps down his bad matchups. Arachne Slip Through the Cracks win rate into Dio and Syndra, after seeing where Gravy is right here, is 65 and 62%. Then you have Gravy, who is very bad into Earth. Gravy into Florian has a 38% win rate, which isn't insanely bad, but it's not good either. And then you go, we'll click here so I can actually do this. I have to go over. And then into Verdance, Slippy had a, where is she? I am blind. I love this. I think she was at the beginning for whatever reason. Verdance had 35% win rate at 13-24, but if you look, Gravy has a 72% win rate into Verdance and a almost 70% win rate into Florian. So they kind of help each other out. The top decks that Slippy was bad into, Gravy is good into. The top decks that Slippy is good into, Gravy is bad into. So they beat down the decks that hurt the other one. So they kind of had this symbiotic relationship in terms of keeping each other afloat. So I don't think that there needs to be a change. I think it was just kind of how the way the representation and meta breakdown went about. But overall, really exciting. And technically, Ira was the winningest deck at the Pro Tour in terms of events. But that's just fun clickbait title. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave all the links down below. I'd love to get your input on this event. I think it was really fun to watch, and I'm excited to see what all these Guardians coming into the mix change things up if they do. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much.